Hello everyone, my name is Harsh Masne. My SAP ID is 600011980004. Today I am going to present my 9th DLIC practical, that is design of an PWM circuit using timer IC 555. So let's see what is PWM. So PWM is nothing but a pulse width modulation. It is a method of reducing the average power delivered by electric signal by effectively chopping it up into discrete parts. So the average value of the voltage and current fed to the load is controlled by turning the switch between the supply and the load on and off at a fast rate. So PWM is particularly suited for running loads such as motors, which are not as easily affected by this discrete switching. So PWM switching frequency should be high enough so it don't affect the load. So let's see what is timer IC 555. Timer IC 555 is one of the most widely used IC in electronics and is used in various electronic circuit for its robust and stable properties. It works as a square wave generator with a duty cycle varying from 50 to 100%. It also works as an oscillator and can also provide a time delay in circuits. So the 555 name comes from the fact that there are three 5 kilo ohm resistor connected internally, producing a voltage divider network between the supply voltage at a pin 8 and a ground at a pin 1. So this is the internal diagram of the 555 IC. You can see the 5 resistors, 5 kilo ohm resistors, 3. So let's see the pins. So first one is the ground, second is the trigger. So when a negative pulse is applied to this pin, it sets the pin it sets the internal flip-flop when the voltage drop is below 1/3 of VCC, which causes the output to switch from low to high state. So here the comparator 1 gets on, so the flip-flop gets set. Next is the output, where we will see the output of the 555 IC. Then fourth pin is a reset. So this reset flip-flop is an active low input, is generally connected to logic 1 when it is not used. So the fifth one is the control voltage. This pin controls the timing of the 555 by overriding the 2/3 VCC level of the voltage divider circuit. By applying a voltage to this pin, the width of the output signal can be varied independently with the help of the RC network timing. So next is the pin 6, which is a threshold. Here we apply a positive input. So when the flip-flop, here the flip-flop get resets when the applied voltage exceeds 2/3 of VCC. So the output, here the output of the 555 switches from high to low state. So here the comparator 2 gets turned on. This comparator 2 gets turned on and it will reset the flip-flop. So the next pin is the discharge. This pin is directly connected to the collector of the transistor, which is used to discharge the timing capacitor to ground. And the last pin, the 8th pin, is a supply voltage plus VCC, which is between 4.5 volt and 15 volt. So 555 can be operated in 3 different modes, which is first one is the astable, which is a free running. Next is a monostable, which is a one shot mode, and third is a bistable mode. So for PWM generation, we will require a monostable configuration. So in monostable, when a negative pulse is applied to this trigger pin, the comparator 1, the internal comparator 1, detects this input and sets the flip-flop by changing the output from low states to high state. Here the transistor gets turned off and the capacitor starts to charge. So here it charges with the help of R1. So until the voltage across the capacitor reaches the threshold voltage, which is 2/3 of VCC, the state is high at the output, and when the 2/3 of VCC voltage exists above this 2/3 of VCC, the flip-flop goes back to its original state. In turns, it will turn on the transistor, and now the capacitor discharges. So the output changes to the low state. So therefore it is called as a monostable multivibrator as it has a one stable state only. So here the trigger pulse must be much shorter than the output pulse. So further, the amount of the time that the output voltage remains high or at a logic 1 level is given by the following time constant equation, which is T is equal to 1 by 1.1 R into C. So here the R1 and the C1 register. So now let's design this circuit on the LT Spice. So this is my circuit design. So here I am giving the modulating signal here at a CV. So the control voltage depends on the voltage of the sine wave. So here we have taken the very low frequency which will work over as a modulating signal, which is a 50 Hertz, and at a trigger I am giving a high frequency which will work as a carrier signal. So here the amplitude of this pulse is 5 volts and the frequency is 1 kilohertz. Further we will take the output at the V out, here the out pin, and the discharge and threshold terminals are connected together and given to the VCC with the R1 and C1. So here R1 and C1 are the time controlling components. So now let's simulate this design and see the PWM waveforms. So we'll take 3 plots for checking all the inputs. So here we'll first take the modulating signal, which is very low signal. Then we'll see the capacitor charging and discharging depending upon the input signal. Then we'll see the our trigger pulses, so here you can see the T on period is very less. The T on so the negative, it is a negative pulses. So here the T on is very less. We can zoom it and see it. Then now we'll see the output. So here we get the output. So let's plot it. So this is our PWM waveforms. Okay, so you can see as my amplitude of the modulating signal is higher, means at around 4 volts, my T on period is higher. As it goes less, my T on period also goes less. So in this fashion we can get the PWM signal. So here these are the negative trigger pulses. So you can also see here when it again increases, my T on period also increases. So in this fashion we can get the PWM signal where the T on and T off time are varying. So PWM signal is widely used for controlling the speed of the DC motors and for servo motors. It is also used as a data logger. Further, this in PWM is also used in fan speed, where this fan speed can be controlled in the laptops and PCs. We can use this PWM signal, and also it is used in autopilot systems also. So this is our end of the 9th experiment. Thanks for watching.